Okay, so the top side is done. I had several extra threads as I had planned on. I left one extra thread just in case I have a mishap during the weave, and the others I cut loose. You can see them back there. So just run around here. You can see they're all lined up to 55 because 56 is the middle of my weave, and that's the first thread from this side. And there is my center line. It's a little hard to see on the video, but it is there, and everything's lined up nicely. And you can see using this method, your threads are nice and tightly packed right from the get-go. So I'm going to go ahead and do the bottom side, and I want to take a second and apologize for. Let me see here. Whoops. Hold on. Okay, so I felt like I owed everybody that's watching this video an apology because I need to lose some weight, and since I'm just using my cell phone for my camera method today, I realized that I'm fat breathing into the microphone, so I know that's annoying. Hopefully you'll forgive me for that. I'll go ahead and finish up the bottom side and show you where we're at. Okay, there you go. I got rid of my extra threads. I have one extra just in case of a mishap, so I've got threads all the way to 113. There is the right side with all the threads properly placed. And then taking a look at the left side. Trying to keep the camera in focus. Just notice how nice and tight those threads are. One of the most important things whenever you're starting a weave is to make sure that you're set up correctly from the get-go. And I find this method to be very effective for getting my threads nice and close together, laid out properly, and properly centered. So I'm going to cut and do a little discussion. Okay, so that is going to pretty much conclude this tutorial. I'm not going to go through and show you how to do each step of the weave. There's a lot of good videos out there already on that. I just wanted to give you a tutorial on how I do my method for layout, which I've been using for a while now, and I find it to be very efficient and less frustrating than the double tape method, double sticky side method. I did that a few times, and it works fine for size A or size D thread. And if you don't have many threads that you're trying to lay out, if you've got a 35, 40, a text type pattern, 35, 40 threads, that method works good for that. But whenever you're using Madeira small thread, it's really hard to get the threads placed closely enough together to put a weave on a smaller diameter rod. This rod that I'm making, I'll have to do it this way. The rod that I'm making is a spinner rod, and I don't know exactly what the ID is. I haven't, or the OD is. I haven't measured it. But a question I get frequently from people that get patterns from me is, my rod only has a diameter of such and such, but this weave pattern is for a diameter of whatever. And I'll tell you, I don't make any adjustments in pick to weave to the diameter of the rod because it doesn't matter if you're using the Renzetti Wonder Weaver, because the Renzetti Wonder Weaver, it has, you can see here I've numbered past where it comes pre-numbered. It has essentially 179 threads that you can use. So if you use 179 threads, regardless of the diameter of your rod, it's going to be a full wrap all the way around the rod. Anything less than that is going to be relative to, however far it wraps around the rod. And it will always wrap the same distance. If you have a large diameter rod, instead of trying to figure out, change anything in pick to weave, you just need to use larger cross threads. So instead of using 60, say I was making a deep sea rod that had a really large OD blank, I would just use size A for my cross threads and size D for my wrap threads instead of Madeira 60 and size A. For this wrap, I'm going to be using size A as my wrap thread, and I'm using the Madeira 60 for the cross threads. So anyway, the diameter of the rod does not matter if you're using the Wonder Weaver. I've never used any of Doc Ski's jigs, so I'm not real familiar with how those work. I think it's a little different, but if you use this method to get your threads packed tight, it doesn't matter because each thread represents about 4 degrees with this method, and the diameter of your rod will just affect the diameter of the cross thread that you need to use. Let me see, what else did I want to point out? So weaving's easy. It's really not that hard. Once you get everything laid out, it's just a matter of keeping track of your left list. And if you go to my website, I have a tutorial page that has links to other videos that other people have made that are much better than this one. And you can learn everything you need to know about the actual process of performing the weave. Like I said, go to my website and check out all the weave patterns that are available. They're all free. You might say, hey, why are they all free? That's crazy. Well, I'm crazy about weaving, and I want everybody to get into it, and I want everybody to be successful. You can go there, check out the tutorial page. This is the only tutorial by me so far. Hopefully there'll be some more in the future when I come up with something to talk about. But there's links to an entire series that will step you through every process of the actual weaving process, which is, once you understand the basics of it, it's simple. All you need is a left list and patience and time. That's the most important thing, is patience. But really, if you go grab one of the weaves that I've put out there available for everyone, I've got a couple that are really easy weaves that are one color type weaves. I've got a few that are very complicated that I haven't even attempted myself yet. But the reason that I give them away is I just enjoy it so much. I enjoy making the patterns almost as much as I enjoy weaving. And if you have a special image that you would like to see converted to a cross weave pattern, just email it to me, or go to my Facebook page, which is also, you'll find the link below, like down there. And go like the Facebook page. I update it every time I place a new available weave, so if you don't see anything you like, you can follow me on Facebook, and whenever there's a new weave that you're interested in, just go grab it. And like I said, if you have an image that you want to have converted, just send it to me, and I can't make any promises on how quickly I'll get it back to you, but anybody that sends me an image, I will convert it to a weave pattern, because I enjoy converting the images to patterns almost as much as I enjoy doing the weaves. I might one day, when I figure out how to record things on my computer and stuff, make a video of how I convert the images. I have a kind of a unique process that I do. I assume it's unique. I haven't seen many other weave patterns that match the ones that I do, and that's not to brag. It's just mine are pretty good, So anyway, well, thanks for watching, and this concludes the tutorial. But I'm going to take a daily video of my progression through the weave, just so I can show what the final result looks like in 3 or 4 days, 4 or 5 days. I'm actually in a hotel room. I don't know if you could tell that. I don't live here. I work in the oil field at nights, and I do most of my weaving at my hotel room in my off time. I weave for about 3 hours a day. So after this, there will be every 3 hours of weaving update until the image is done, and then I'll slap a video of the final completed rod when it's all said and done, when it's all finished. I can tell you what I'm not going to do any tutorial videos on is marbling, because example, I tried to marble this rod, and I don't know how well you can see that. But that's pretty terrible, so I haven't figured that out. Maybe I'll do a tutorial on how to cut off a shitty marbling job and replace it. Maybe that's next. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and stay tuned for some updates on the weave progression. And hey man, get out there and tangle some thread. Thanks.